An absolutely shocking series of events. I mean, we have our championship fight canceled. It saddens me deeply just because the excuse is not one that anybody would give for a championship fight. Earlier this morning, we checked the weights of both Arturo and his opponent, Jesus Lopez. Arturo, although he's weighing 2 pounds more than his opponent, he's ready to make championship weight. His opponent is not. So it's a very strange circumstance here with his opponent being lighter than the champion, but is not claiming he can make the weight. He is refusing to make the weight. And is refusing for a catch weight at 140. In fact, he wants this fight at 145, 10 pounds above the original weight limit. We can't allow this to happen in this organization. You know, if we're talking about world-class striking and a world-class promotion at the level we are, we can't allow things like this to happen. So the fight is canceled. Jesus Lopez will never fight for Karate Combat again. He's dishonored himself, his fans, and his students. You won't see him under this banner ever again. I apologize to Arturo Vergara. We're trying to find any solution possible for this man to still fight, because he invested his own dollar to live at altitude in elevation here in Denver, Colorado, to be training with Dwayne Ludwig and other legends, training with his students to prepare for this on his own dollar for 1 month away from his friends and family. That sacrifice needs to be rewarded, you know, and we need to find a solution for Arturo, and that's where my head's at right now. At the weigh-ins tomorrow, I will have a plan to hopefully move forward and do something fair for our champion, Arturo Vergara.
I will tell you something. This is confidential, but I will pull up. This guy got paid already. Half of his purse. No. This guy got paid.
No.
So he got paid. Not even fighting. Not even showing up for nothing.
At Karate Combat, I take pride that we protect the fighters and we take care of the fighters. We put ourselves out there and we do things that no promotions do. For instance, giving an advance on a purse to a fighter that's struggling. That's not done anywhere. But because I'm a pushover and I am soft and I cave in, I made a grave mistake. And I've done this to multiple fighters where I give them an advance when they're really struggling in life. So that way they can pay for their camp, because I know how hard that life is. But it'll never be done again because we've been taken advantage of.
Shit, but agreement. Go back to Peru.
You can bullshit Don Davis. You can bullshit a lot of people, but I live this too. Come on. Nobody in this room has coached more professional fighters than me or been involved in more training camps than me. I've also fought around the world myself. I've cut from 180 pounds to 145 pounds. So when somebody says they can't make weight, I know if they're lying or if they're telling the truth. I know. They can't bullshit me. The last administration, the last president, you can lie to him. He never cut weight. He doesn't know. Most people don't know. Okay? Most people don't know. Most organizations, Don Davis in PFL, he never lost 2 pounds of water weight in his life. Right? But my black eye shows you I'm fighting till today. You can't lie to me. I know who's a fighter and who's not. And can Jesus Lopez make weight? Yes, he can. He's 2 pounds lighter than Arturo Vergara. There's something else going on here.
But the new co-main event for March 8th, UFC 313 here in Las Vegas, is going to be Gaethje versus Fiziev. Gaethje, I don't know how much I got to sell Gaethje to you. 13 performance bonuses in 13 fights. 20 of his 25 wins are by knockout. And Fiziev, in his last fight, was cut short due to an unfortunate knee injury. But prior to that, Fiziev had 6 straight performance bonuses, including the first time they fought, which was another badass fight. So the co-main event, Fiziev versus Gaethje, we fixed it. That's a fun one.
Justin Gaethje says Armin Tsarukyan and Charles Oliveira understandably said no. Max and Dustin Poirier understandably said no. Moicano got the call and said no. Props to Fiziev for volunteering to fly across the world and take this fight. Big risk here for me taking this rematch against an elite striker. Life's a trip. Best live show on earth going down on March 8th at UFC 313. Poirier disagrees that he turned down the fight. I never got the call. I didn't say no. He also adds, I'm the one who reached out to them when I read the news. Ask Hunter. All respect to you and Fiziev. I'm looking forward to this one again. Justin Gaethje tells Dustin Poirier, I was running back the crazy 48 hours I went through. I wasn't trying to imply any of you guys would not fight me. Armin was too heavy, same with Charles. UFC obviously has plans for you at a later date. They said that's a no-go. Poirier will fight one more time in Louisiana, New Orleans, likely in late spring, early summer. Probably a pay-per-view, possibly against Holloway. Why the F did Armin say no? That's a big weight cut on short notice. If only fighters fought at their proper weight like you. To be fair, it takes me 8 to 12 weeks to properly get my body prepared for the weight cut. I fight around 175 like most lightweights. Hard to understand, but that's the way it goes.
Another announcement I have for you. UFC 314, April 12th in Miami, Florida. It's Silva, who fought last weekend and had an unbelievable performance in Seattle, immediately calls out Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell immediately texts Hunter Campbell and says, I want the fight. So we made it. April 12th in Miami, Silva versus Mitchell. Ask and you shall receive, I guess. That's a fun one. I didn't want anybody to think we're putting a hit out on Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell literally texted immediately after he said it, said he wants to fight, so we're doing it in Miami. So there you have it. Gaethje versus Fiziev, Mitchell versus Silva, Las Vegas, Miami. I'm going back to film The Ultimate Fighter.
Alexander Volkanovski says he plans on beating Lopez and then after calling Movsar Evloev out. These two guys fought over the weekend and they won over the weekend and they have their next fight already scheduled. That's Kutalaba and Modestas Bukauskas, UFC 315, May 10th in Montreal. Bukauskas knocked out Cerqueira over the weekend and Kutalaba choked out Aslan. Some cuts from the UFC roster include Julio Arce, Josh Cooley-Bow, Taylor Lapilus, Jonathan Pierce, Clayton Rodriguez, and Cody Stamann. Taylor Lapilus was 3-1 in this stint with the UFC, and he's on a 2-fight win streak, but I guess he wasn't exciting enough to keep on the roster. Some thought Buckley would be on that Missouri card because he's from Missouri. Not going to lie, I look at boxing right now, and I look at all the boxers and say to myself, why the F are these dudes making more than me? I'd beat the dog out of these pugilist bitches. This era is so weak.
What's up, guys? I am hosting an MMA retreat in Colombia, May 18th through the 24th. All-inclusive retreat, pick up from the airport, nice accommodations, 2 training sessions a day with me and Brandon Six Gun Gibson. Meals prepared by chefs, stretching, yoga, breath work, all sorts of excursions, hiking. It's going to be beautiful. Come out, train with us. We're going to have a fantastic time. I'm going to include a link if you're interested. Come out, sign up, have a good time with us.